What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Hope you guys had a good day at work or wherever you're doing out there. So let's get into today. There was some buffoonish shit that happened today. And we'll get into it by the end of the show. You'll see some of the buffoonish shit that I have for you. You might have a chuckle. You're going to be pissed, but you're going to have a chuckle with some of this shit. But anyway, let's start off with how you guys remember Fox's Brian Kilmeade. You know, the dude that looks like he still eats boogers and glue? Yeah, that dude. That dude outsmarted Trump. He outsmarted Trump today. It ain't no hard task to do, but that's his homie. That's the person he loves. But you can see when Brian Kilmeade's listening to Trump, he's concerned. he has a concerned look. You know how Brian Kilmeade used to look when he talked to Trump? He was all smiles and happy and joy. And I forgot the other guy's name on the show, the Fox and Friends. It was early in the morning. It was just be three of them. I don't know if that was Fox and Friends. And the blonde-haired, skinny guy, I forgot his name. I want to say Ducey, but the other dude's name is Ducey. But it's the older guy. Anyway, he started getting wise on some shit. on Fox, the blonde-haired guy. He's like, I don't think Trump should have done that. And Brian Kilmeade would be angry. What are you talking about? Donald Trump is the greatest ever since whatever. No matter what, you know what I'm saying? And he has an interview with Donald Trump. He looks concerned the whole time. He on camera, and this fool looking down. He looking down, yo. He can't even look up at the camera. He just listens what he say there, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, do you remember? No, he don't remember, fool. Donald Trump don't remember shit. But anyway, it had me rolling. He should be pissed, but it had me rolling at how dumb. It was like two nitwits. But, Donald Trump made that dipshit look smart. And it's funny, and you're going to see it. Not too many people even spoke about it, to be honest. They mentioned it, but they didn't think about it the way I'm thinking about it, at least the ones that I saw. So let's go ahead and look at what Brian Kilmeade and how he outsmarted Trump. And I don't think Trump liked it. He's trying his best to kind of hold back, but we're going to show you.
Are you thinking about taking Kharg Island, where 90% of the Iranian oil goes through? And what do you think about? Do you remember that interview and that school of thought?
Yeah, but Brian, I can't answer a question like that. You shouldn't ask it. Again, you shouldn't be even asking it. It's one of so many different things. It's not high on the list, but it's one of so many different things, and okay. I can change my mind in seconds.
Now, you might not know why that is funny, but Brian Kilmeade, I don't know if he got clued in. You know how Donald Trump always calls Fox, or one of his minions calls Fox and try to clue them in on what's going on. They're so tight with them. Remember, he was president the first time. Fox was like his real friends. He'd call him in the middle of the day and say, hey, how you guys doing? I'm just sitting here eating a burger and chocolate cake, and yeah, the world's going kind of crazy, but how y'all doing? Good ratings? That type of shit. Whereas, the dipshits on Fox Station would know all the information, and he would literally listen to Sean Hannity. Hannity would say, well, Donald Trump, you should go here if I was you. Next thing you know, Donald Trump's like, I'm going here. It was my decision. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was Sean Hannity's. But that's how it was back then. I don't know if Brian Kilmeade was hipped in on what the administration is doing, or if Brian Kilmeade is just as good a strategist as the strategist that we have working with Donald Trump. Because Brian Kilmeade called it on television. He said, oh, you ever think about that 90% place, the Kharg, and you could probably take care of that and do something over there? And Donald Trump's like, nah, I don't think so. I got so many things that we can do. It's not a top priority. No, I don't even think you should be mentioning it. Why did he say? Because he's a dumbass. I know they had to know at that point, Donald Trump is about to hit us at Kharg. because Donald Trump literally sends out a tweet later, moments ago, in my direction, United States, after Brian Kilmeade told me to, Central Command executed one of the most powerful bombing raised in the history of the Middle East and totally obliterating every military target in Iran's crown jewel, Kharg Island. Our weapons are the most powerful and sophisticated that the world has ever known. But for reasons of decency, I have chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island. All right. You could be an idiot all you want, but not on our time. The reason why Donald Trump didn't touch the oil, one, he's greedy as fuck. Remember when they bombed Iran's oil and it was like fire all over the place and fire running down the streets like a little river down the streets? Donald Trump, even in Iran, he was saying, you didn't have to get the oil. You didn't have to get the oil, that precious oil. You didn't have to touch that. It could have blew up something else. You saw how he cared about the oil, even in Iran, oil that he won't touch. He won't be able to see, except for 4% when we go through that strait. He's worried about the oil, not the people. Iranians, listen. He didn't say, don't be bombing and killing people. He said, leave the precious oil alone. They didn't have to do that. Never mind the fact they killed people. He worried about the oil. And so he's going to tell people that he bombed the Kharg or whatever it is. It has 90% of the oil. And it is the pipeline that runs through and is owned, of course, by and helps produce most of the oil that runs, Iran, and ships come up here and take oil from it all the time. So it is a major, thoroughway for that. If he blew that up, the economy would fucking go nuts. It wouldn't just fuck up them. It'd fuck up all these countries. If he's talking about through that strait, a fifth of the oil, 20% comes through it, and you blow up like one of the main places, you have to understand that whatever oil they have, which they have the majority oil in that Middle East area, and from what I've been told, the world, they'll fuck us up, everybody else, because oil rises and lowers globally. If the oil rises per barrel over there to $200, $300, we have to buy it for $200 or $300. Even if we're way over here and we're cool, we got to put our price at $300 a barrel, just like everybody else. So doing that would fuck us up. So how you gonna play chess and checkmate yourself? You just couldn't. So I'm blowing up the bases around it. Well, great, fine and dandy. I'm going to leave the oil alone because I'm nice. No, because they told you if you do that, prices will skyrocket and Americans will probably try and find a noose to hang your ass with. That is why. And the crazy part about it, Brian Kilmeade earlier in the day strategized to do what Donald Trump did. And when he said it to Donald Trump, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. No, you shouldn't have said it. Matter of fact, he's like, who the fuck told him? You shouldn't have said that. And I don't hear. No, you shouldn't have. Nope. And I got many thousands of billions and zillions of opportunities to do other things. Not just that. Let's move on. Then later, I've hit Kharg. Brian Kilmeade, the dipshit of Fox, pulled off a strategy in his head, not unless you warned him, that was the equivalent of what the fuck you did. You guys sat in a room with a bunch of brains, because you fired most of the smart people, with a bunch of brains that accumulated to the brain of a turtle and came up with something that the brain of a turtle, Brian Kilmeade, came up with. And told the world, all the world, that you was going to do it right before you did it. If you can think of it, no. If Brian Kilmeade's little bird brain ass can come up with it, don't you think they already knew ahead of time? They probably knew years in advance before this dude did. They probably knew when they came out the womb of their moms and was told, yeah, we got to protect the Kharg and blah, 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 before Brian Kilmeade thought of it. And you thought, oh, I'm doing something special. And they blowing fucking boats up. Big ass ships just, boom, gone, killing Americans. He's going to say, ours is the mightiest of almighty. I'm like, Jesus Christ. First of all, this little dick energy bugs the shit out of me. I mean, if you got one that's little, hey, do what you can. Work with it. Don't act like a little simp because it's small. Just be strong with it, but don't be overzealous with it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I'm just so great, so grand. Now sit your little dick ass down. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no clue. Donald Trump, with his little mushroom penis ass, don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's lost in the sauce. He's confused about it. I guarantee you, he hasn't wiped his ass since he was in his 50s. I mean, it's just, it's insane to think that this man can strategize. I promise you, there is a high school student over in Iran that could run that country and beat Donald Trump at strategizing. If it was just up to Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, they can get a bunch of seniors, not the smartest kid in the school, the average kid as a senior, messing with these third grade brain bastards that are running our country. They could whoop our ass in their sleep. They over here talking about, oh, this is the crazy part, right? They don't even understand what they're doing. They literally said this. Pete Hegseth came out and said, you know, this new Ayatollah, he got hit in the last, in the blow up and killed his dad and his family, his baby kid, or I don't know, was a boy or girl, excuse me, his child, but it was a baby. Killed his baby, killed his wife. I got to sneeze. Right? Thank you. I know somebody gonna say bless you. But killed his wife, kids, family, dad, everything. He's supposed to left over. They're gonna say, oh, we know he's injured. He may be disfigured. And I'm like, really? Okay. Is that really a flex though? A man who may be injured, disfigured. Let's even take it further. With half a brain left, strategized, and is fucking you guys up in a war. Half his brain is better than all y'all's. How does that make it sound better for you? Him not being the leader, you guys think he's in a coma. How is it that the third in command is whooping your ass? You got the top commander supposedly, and somehow all y'all brains in a room together couldn't figure this shit out. You just thought of hitting Kharg. Brian Kilmeade mentioned it on the news. He's trying to give you a strategy because he sees you're flailing. He knows. Here's the thing. If you guys were straight good at being able to strategize, why would dipshit Brian Kilmeade literally try to give you a strategy? You know what, Donald Trump, do you remember when you did this and that? And, you know, Kharg is like 90%. You might want to, you know, blow that up. It don't seem like you know what you're doing. That's what it sounded like. And Donald Trump like took the advice and was like, fuck. Y'all didn't think of this. All you brain, you didn't think of it. Damn. And then he went and did it. Oh, shit. Either way, Brian Kilmeade thought of it before he struck. Before the military struck, Brian Kilmeade thought of it. And there's only two ways. Brian Kilmeade is smarter than the people leading our country, or Brian Kilmeade got information from the dipshits leading our country. They done leaked it out. Either way, we're fucked. I don't know what else to say about it. If you really think Brian Kilmeade came up with that on his own, we're in trouble. Because if you ever watch Fox with them three, whatever, Fox and Friends, whatever it is in the morning, every once in a while they have the black guy there who's just as dense as a brick. He's not bright. Brian Kilmeade is not bright. Like I said, he's probably like eating boogers and like pecans or some shit. He probably don't mix it up with something. He's still slow. And he came up with it. What world we live in? What world we live in, y'all? That's just, y'all remember when Joe Biden was president? You know, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't even know if Joe Biden was even alive at times, because it was just quiet. It was relaxing. There was days that went by and Joe Biden's name did not come out my mouth. I would just have a calm, relaxed day and knew that there were brains working. Now, I didn't like the him talking about he a Zionist, can't stand that shit. I don't like the fact that he's with Israel and shit like that. I can't stand that. But when I'm talking about running a country and governing, he governed the shit out of this country. And so did Obama. Bush didn't know what he was doing. Reagan didn't know what he was doing. Clinton governed like a motherfucker. Don't like him all the way, but you know, hey, I prospered like hell during that time. And I prospered during Bill Clinton, Biden, and Obama. Prospered. Under the rest of them, lost shit. Had to stay in the house for 2 years because of that dipshit mismanaging COVID. People were at war for 20 years because, not Reagan, but Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction, which was also Bibi Netanyahu's fault. And here we are again in another war that will probably last 20 years. Do you think Donald Trump, who got an idea or had an idea that Brian Kilmeade figured out before they planted, that before they did what they did, do you think that was a good strategy? It's just pathetic. But no disrespect to Biden, I'm just saying, I didn't even know the man was alive at times. Not because he was sick or nothing like that. I just didn't hear from him. But everything was chugging along. Get this plan came out to help people with get money and all this stuff like that, and you can get loans and shit like that. Everything was kind of kicking in, man. It's like, oh shit, the country's picking back up. Going from COVID, Donald Trump mismanaging it, then Biden having to try his best to manage to open up a country. Ain't nobody ever opened up a country in our lifetime. That shit ain't easy, but he did it. Did he fuck up some? Yeah. Who wouldn't? But did he fuck up royally? Fuck no. Did Donald Trump? Hell yeah, he did. He didn't listen to experts. He brought in crackpots. That one black lady or African lady coming out and a bunch of doctors in white suits. I mean, I was like, what is this heifer talking about? She out here with these other dipshits, some British dude and some German dude. I'm like, where'd you get these crackerjack people? They out here talking about you can take horse pills and shit. I'm like, who are y'all? And they disappeared once that shit didn't take a hold. It was like a marketing ploy. I promise you, they were probably like gardeners and cooks and shit, just with white suits. Nobody heard of them. It was just a marketing ploy. It didn't work. He moved on to another crackpot. That's how we got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Bunch of crackpots he listened to. It's crazy. So Brian Kilmeade stole his thunder. Earlier today, we found out, well, you may have found out, we found out a little bit yesterday, I guess, but they spoke more of it, of Donald Trump releasing the sanctions, some of the sanctions on Russia to move oil So now we're losing out and Russia's benefiting. Our enemy is making money while we're losing. And with him making money, it gives him a lot of opportunity to continue buying more weapons, more everything to fight Ukraine. Ukraine is out here helping us in this war figure out how to get these drones down because they've been dealing with these drones from Russia. And Donald Trump is helping the dude who's trying to hurt Ukraine while begging Ukraine to help him with these damn drones. Can you say clusterfuck? Zelensky is helping us. And Donald Trump is hurting them. While Putin is literally giving the enemy in this situation, which we're fighting, giving them advice and intel on where to kill our soldiers and our weapons where we have them stored there. Can you say clusterfuck? How are we going to win something when we're letting the enemy, Russia, make more money to be able to harm the country, Ukraine, that has to win in order for America to stay safe overseas? Because if not, that becomes World War III. Because any of those countries, Poland and the others around that, because you know, Russia has vowed, just like they talk about the Middle East, they call death to America. Putin has said death to America. He promised to destroy America because they took down the Soviet Union. It has been his goal, his life's goal, to destroy America. He has tried at every turn he could get. Then he's got Donald Trump, which we don't understand. Anybody who knows this damn country or knows anything about loving this country, we have no clue whatsoever. Feel me? And it's like this we have no clue what they're thinking. It's like this man, Netanyahu, let's say, has put America under an unwinnable war. And have you heard from Putin, yo? I said it yesterday. I've been watching the news throughout the day. I haven't heard where Putin's at, yo. We started a war with Putin and this bitch is incognito. He ain't in the news. He ain't talking about, yeah, we getting this, we getting that. I ain't heard shit every day. He's been here 12, 13 days. I saw him in the news on day one. We're so happy to have Donald Trump, this like that to help us out. Bounce. Not another fucking meeting. We ain't even heard that him and Donald Trump have had a phone call together. We heard him and Putin have. We haven't heard that him and Netanyahu. Where you at? Just saying, where you at? Got us in this shit and bounced. And Donald Trump's scrambling. Why are we in it? Why are we in it? Where's Netanyahu at? Can't get in touch with him? We in this by ourselves? I guess so. So we don't have a plan. Nope, they had the plan. Man, we are in trouble. If you remember this country beforehand, we did things smart. Did you understand? For decades, they've been talking about fucking with Iran again. But because of this strait, they have chosen not to. Because they hadn't figured out any way whatsoever to get through this strait and make oil continue to come through, because it is something they can't strategically, great minds, figure the fuck out. And Bibi Netanyahu knew Donald Trump doesn't think. He just does. So he got himself a patsy. This patsy is like, you can do it. I bet you can. And who else helped him? I would say the person who helped him is treasonous. And that person who helped him was Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, I say, should go to jail for this, getting us into an illegal war. He is a war criminal. Because did you know that Netanyahu, not Netanyahu, but Lindsey Graham went to Israel, and weeks before this happened, went to Israel and talked to not only Bibi Netanyahu and his crew of their not military, but their government, and was giving them clues on how to pitch this to Donald Trump. Now, the Wall Street Journal kind of covered a little bit. I'll read some of that, what they said. It says, Netanyahu showed the president, well, it's not that one, it says, to help make the case. Let me get to this first. To help make the case, let's go back. On Iran, Graham traveled several times to Israel in recent weeks, meeting with members of the country's intelligence agencies. They tell me things our own government won't tell me, he said. So he went and got intel from their intelligence agency that our government won't tell him. Must be a reason why they don't tell you, because it's probably not true. So he came to us, or Donald Trump, with some fake information, fake intel from Bibi Netanyahu and their intelligence agency. They fed him a bunch of bullshit, and he came back and told Trump, and actually told them while he was there how to get to Trump to get him to do what they wanted him to do. By giving him this information, this dipshit Lindsey felt like he was important. They gave me this information and I'm going to be the first one. Not realizing that our intel has already thought of this shit for years, for decades they've been thinking about it. And they knew that that strait was the block. And the only way to get that strait out of the way, they'd have to have ground troops, and they'd have a sustained ground troop. And that would cause more lives than necessary. So they've never done it. They planned it many a times, got to a certain point with the greatest minds, military minds, the ones that train people in military, that you guys say is the greatest military in the world. These brains who trained the greatest military in the world figured out that it's not possible. Especially not by air. And this dipshit, he spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, coaching him on how to lobby the president for action. How much money did Lindsey get for this? To turn his back on his country, to bring fake intel to America and get American soldiers murdered over some fake ass information. This intel he should have took to America's intel and say, is this valid? This is the intel I got from Bibi Netanyahu and Israel's intelligence agency. Him coming to America's intelligence agency and saying, is this information valid? And I guarantee you, I'm just guessing, just pissing in the wind. The intel was like, nah, that's just juvenile. We've been knowing that shit can't happen. That ain't making no sense. None of it makes sense. We got our own intel, and this intel says A, B, and C. Their intel, I wouldn't take it. These are the same people that's been trying to get us to do shit since 1996, okay? No thank you. And even in 1979, no thank you. We good. We good. We gonna do our thing. I bet you our intel would have told them that. But no, this man said that our intelligence agency, he skipped them. Lindsey, he said they don't talk to us about this information. There's a reason, because your dumb ass shouldn't know this information. Because look what you did with fake information that you thought you was so important with intel from Israel. Didn't take into fact that this country's been trying to fight them forever, that they would lie to you. And then you gave them I would say American secrets, to be honest. The American secret is how to manipulate a president into getting into something that harms America. You literally had access from the enemy, I believe. And you came with the enemy's information and told them how to trick America into a fucking war. Then you're out here on television proud about it and saying, oh, we're going to go to Cuba next. Arrest him. This man brought fake intel, not to intel in America to verify. No, he went straight to the fucking main man with intel from another fucking country who had a motive, a negative motive for America to do something that he wants to do for his side of the country, take over it. And Lindsey was the henchman that came to America and got our idiot president to jump into a war with a country he can't even spell. That's why we're out here throwing out fake news. They are. To tell you the war's going well, it's going great, it's going wonderful. If it's going so great, why you got Brian Kilmeade giving you advice on what to do and why you took his advice? Because he already got the same advice you did. You guys pulled a move that if Kilmeade knew, Iran was 7 miles ahead of Kilmeade. I'm just saying. I don't get it, but this man needs to be in jail. I'm just saying. He goes, Netanyahu showed the president intelligence that persuaded Trump to go ahead, Graham said. So you're telling me that after he told Bibi Netanyahu how to get to Trump, and he validated Israel's fake ass fucking intel, he came to America and put America in harm's way, and we have, I think now, 12 dead soldiers. Lost 6 in the plane today, or late last night, whichever it was, they was flying. 12 plus over 150, 160 hurt. Because he decided to buddy up with Israel and do what they tell him to do and not even take it to, you know what's so fucked up? America, we don't know what's going on with right now. But they have given information, and Lindsey Graham has shared, quote unquote, intel between two countries. Because I dare to say, getting to the president is another form of intel. It's something that Bibi Netanyahu didn't have access to on how to get to Trump. And Lindsey gave him the access codes to get Trump to do whatever the fuck Trump wants, what you want Trump to do. He literally saying right here that he knows how to get Trump into something that he doesn't even want to fucking do or doesn't even know what it's about. And it's more than likely probably playing on his ego and telling him that it's going to be just like Venezuela and that he was going to get a Nobel Peace Prize if he got this thing done. I know what he needs. So he literally got intel on Donald Trump, knows how to manipulate him, then went to another country, got intel from them, trusted their intel and not his own country's intel, came back and then manipulated our dipshit president into a war that's fucking us all up. And he's running around talking about Cuba next. Arrest his ass. Shut him down. This is an illegal war that he is out here right now taking the fall for. Acting like he did something great. That ain't right. These people have died because these people are searching for greed and power. Lindsey Graham should be behind bars. How the hell are you going to sit here and tell them that? Because you're going to get intel and then tell people how to manipulate the American president. That has got to be treason. That has got to be, because we went to war over it. People have died over it. American soldiers have died for this man giving fake intel and teaching another person outside of our country, not an American, how to manipulate our president into doing what they want us to do for them. Not our best interest. He went after Bibi Netanyahu's best interest. Anybody, and I say this to Republicans, Democrats, Independent, you take AIPAC money, fuck you, fuck your family, your mama, your daughter, your baby, anybody that's born in your centuries from here on, fuck all y'all. Put the money back. There's no fucking way you should be taking AIPAC money. Fuck AIPAC. We got soldiers dead because they pay money to manipulate America. This is the worst thing that you can think of. Us going to a war, a possible forever war, based on two shits talking to each other on how to manipulate a dipshit. That MAGA, it's y'all fault for putting somebody dumb in. You wanted somebody to be just like you, a dipshit, and white. And so we got more than one white dipshit running this fucking country, and we're at war because our president and the people he hired don't have the sense that God gave a fucking turtle. They out here trying to tell you how to pitch their war to the media. They out here making fucking war videos where people actually died and blending them with movies. Who does this shit? Football players. Superman. RoboCop and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? This ain't no fucking game. Arrest Lindsey Graham. I'm the first one to call it. Arrest Lindsey Graham. Hashtag that shit. He's a traitor. You got another country to get us at war and kill our soldiers. The blood is on your hands. So CNN, they wrote an article, and they got some kind of intel or information, whatever, in this article. Just like we already knew that Donald Trump was tricked into this war because he's not bright enough. He never has been. These people never take clues. His professor, when he was in college, said he was the dumbest goddamn student he ever taught. And every time he said it, he said goddamn, because he was pissed that he had to teach somebody that fucking stupid. I don't know anybody whose teacher would say that about him. In my life, I knew some people that weren't that smart. But when you mention them to the teacher, well, no, this is the goddamn dumbest fucker I ever met. And he proves it every time he opens his mouth. But CNN wrote an article that says Trump administration underestimated Iran, their war impact on the Strait of Hormuz. And this is part of the article. It says, the Pentagon and National Security Council significantly underestimated Iran's willingness to close the Strait of Hormuz in response to U.S. military strikes while planning the ongoing operation, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter. There's more. Multiple sources familiar with the session said there was no indication there were any near-term solutions. So behind the scenes, nobody has a clue on how to end this. And I mean, think about it. All they want you to do is to keep saying that it's a great war. It's this going on and we're doing great. All they do is come out with that. I'll show you a video here in a minute of Pete Hegseth saying some shit. Y'all saw it yesterday. He was talking about his pictures. Like people, they were unflattering because he was sitting there just, you know, they had pictures of him going and doing and being mad and shit, and he's just regularly talking, but he's all pissed off at the media and other people. And I'm like, dude, your anger's at the wrong place. You coming out and speaking every day, you need to be coming out with some information every day. Your information is telling how America, the media, should be covering what you're doing. And I'm sorry, that's called propaganda. I know y'all did that at Fox, but the news doesn't take its information or its news gathering directly from you. It's what you say. You don't get the right to headlines, or you don't get to collect the other information. You want it to be one-sided. It's crazy. It's crazy as hell. And I'm like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Who does that? Who puts a tell you like, hey, and it has to be the way he's giving us like insight on how Fox works. You know what I'm saying? That must be how Fox works. Get information from Trump, this, and then they write it as is. Because he came out today trying to tell people what they should do. Don't take a picture of me, and they got him out of the room so they don't take a picture of him. I'm like, so you're controlling the media. You're not letting the media get the news. You're controlling it. And we all should have known that, because when they started kicking people out, AP and the others. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's like, let me get this real quick. I gotta get some kind of video of let's see. Let's see. Almost there. Give me a second. Okay. So I don't understand how they expect us and the media to cover them the way they want to be covered. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It is. It's just the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. You're going to tell us, media and other people, this is the way you should talk about the war. No, how about we watch Al Jazeera on the other end of the earth and see how their news is going, how their intel is going, and then we watch our own country and ask people who are closer to our military and see how it's going. And then we come and listen to you, Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump, and see how that's going. And then we go write an article or make a video based upon the information that we receive from all three sources. And if those sources contradict or those sources unite, and therefore coming up with actual facts and not just taking a note from you and going and copying and pasting it like you guys do at Fox. Every time you turn around, well, this. I got that reel yesterday. They say the exact same fucking thing because they get a script and they just say it. Nope, everybody's tired of that shit. Y'all need to come up with your own lines. You don't need to be every news station that's Fox or right wing will be saying the exact same shit. The war's going great. The war's going great. The war's going great. I'm like, really? So what we got going on? What's the reason for us having it? They said they were going to have it. No, they didn't. They gave you a bunch of bullet points, but they didn't tell you which one was the truth. And on top of that, from day one, those bullet points that they've gotten, they've all been ones they just thrown out. Each one of them's thrown out one. And whichever one started to grab, because they went out and sent their little minions out on everything, CNN, Fox, and whatever show, and say all these different things. Then they polled it. Then they figured out America can deal with 1, 2, and 3 out of the 7 that we are 12 that we said. So let's say those 3. Because if they had that structure, it would always have been from day one, which it should have been, all of them on the same plane the day of. But it wasn't. Marco Rubio said it best, that Israel was about to bomb Iran, and they were going to attack us because we was in the area and we were their allies. So we had to join in with them. He said it on the spot. He didn't have no talking points. He had exactly what he knew. And then they started developing talking points. Donald Trump was out there, ain't no war. What is it then? Not a war. Then the next sentence. So we're at war. I'm like, what? I thought you said ain't no war. This shit is like clown shit. I'm telling you. This is the Three Stooges of fucking leadership. Fucking Bowery boys. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. It's just crazy. We one thing I do know is France and Italy are like, peace. They pull a Martin and not even Gina, Martin and Pam. They're like, peace. They out. They're like, fuck all this. We ain't getting in this war. They trying to make a deal with Iran for oil. Yo, we good. We ain't had nothing to do with it. We didn't suit it, y'all. Fuck America. We ain't got nothing to do with them on this situation. We got some deals, but no, we ain't America. We ain't, no. Could we get our oil? I mean, we're going to put a flag on our shit. We're going to put a flag on the side of it saying, France, this one can get through. And y'all can leave that one alone. You know what I'm saying? We'll pay whatever insurance you need. But our ships, let them bitches go. Like, all right, cool. You can go through. You can go through. America, boom. America, boom. So that's what France and Italy's doing. They making their own deal. See, this is what happens when you fuck with NATO. This is what happens when we have allies who have fought and died, put their loved ones, wives, husbands, kids, and all this shit in wars with Iraq and Afghanistan. They backed us up 100%, and we get a dipshit like Trump and the rest of these Republican MAGA fucking war criminals trying their best to fuck up the ally or reorganize allies. I think they want to ally with dictators. And here it is. We're in the middle of a war. They don't want to call a war that has a different name. This fool's saying excursion or whatever the hell it is. I'm like, nah, bro. He's still saying it. Ain't nobody checking him. Ain't nobody checking. You notice he was saying excursion. Now he's trying to explain what an excursion is. We're just taking a little trip. How? A trip? Because somebody may have told him that this right here is like, that's like taking a trip somewhere. You know, it's not really, it's not what you think it is. And so now listen to him. Next time you hear him, he won't back down and say he was wrong. He'll try his best to turn excursion. Are we just taking a trip over there? No, you can't turn an incursion into an excursion by just saying we're taking a trip. These some slow people, yo. Slow. Very slow. But that's what happens. That's what happens when you get people who want a president to be like them average. I want an excellent president. I want somebody with a brain that's smarter than mine. I want somebody who is magna cum laude or whatever the highest you can be. It is a super magnum cum laude. I want that person. Why? Because that person is a thinking person. It's a thinking woman, a thinking man. Because I want that person to think. I don't want that person to have the same average brain as these dipshits out on the street, these MAGAs. These people out here was wearing 2 hats and shit for Trump. I was like, it was just sickening to see these dipshits wanted a dipshit to look up to. They're saying even stupid people can be successful. I'm like, you can, but don't run the country. See what happens? They still don't get it. Something has to happen to them. They got to lose their son, lose their daughter, lose their loved one. Oh, I don't understand. Lose their money, lose their job. I don't understand. Then you find out, how come your brain couldn't calculate that could possibly happen to you going down this fucking road? Jesus. So, Scott Bessent was in an interview today. Not going to show you the whole interview or anything like that. But during the interview, he got called into a meeting with Trump and all them talking about the war and all this other shit, whatever, right? Very important. He had to go to whatever the room is called, war room, whatever the fuck they go to. So he had to stop down the meeting, the interview. The dude just looking at him like, what the fuck? You know, and he had to leave. So he sat there. Then they cut to him coming back. And then this is one of the first things he said when he came back. Check it out.
How's the president? Was he stressed?
No, the president is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule. And you know, I have to tell you, Wolf, that I'm a teenager who's considering military service, and I could give this team my highest compliment, from President Trump to the head of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of War. I would say that I would trust my child's life in their hands.
I'm not frozen. I'm just pissed. This dipshit comes out of a meeting, and the first things he's saying is that we're ahead of schedule. No, you're not. If you're ahead of schedule, then you plan to be this far back? I mean, seriously? Their flexes are not flexes. Their flexes are like, I'm an idiot, and I'm loud and proud with it. Because if my plan's ahead of schedule, I plan to be on the losing end of this. That was my plan. See? I'm going to lose on purpose. That's my plan. Yeah, we wanted them to close it straight. We're ahead of time. They close it just in time. This is exactly when we thought. When it's going to end? Well, we don't quite know. Pretty soon, though. Say what? Is it me, or does he seem like he's got some kind of disease? Like he's slow as hell. And then he's talking about this dude is rich as fuck, and he's smart with money. But man, when you talk about talking to humans, what the fuck is all that shit? That's scary in itself. What the fuck is that? This dude leading something. He'd be like, yo, what we should do? We need to do this quick. Let's see. But he ain't got a stuttering problem. He just, he's got a thinking problem. What the fuck is that? I need you to act quick. You're a leader. Lead, bitch. 5 minutes later, you could have fucking figured it out yourself. You in another state before this fool gets out a sentence. Hey, fuck it, I figured it out myself. You gone. He said, that's what you should do. The fuck is that? But what's even... Y'all, did you hear this man say, after he came out of a room with the president about this war, he offers up his teenage kid. I trust my teenage kid. Why, if you are ahead of schedule, would you be talking about your kid having boots on the ground in Iran? I mean, why would you bring that up? I mean, seriously. He literally said, I would trust my kid with the dipshits behind me. I got a kid that's thinking about going to the war, and I trust that he's going to sign up and all this stuff. Yo, I want y'all to know something. This man just tried to offer up his kid to the military as if his kid is military ready. Why'd he bring that story up if his kid is too young to be in the military? By the time his kid is old enough to go, Donald Trump will be out of the military. Maybe out of presidency. Probably dead even. Last year, his children, the only two children he have, is 11 and 15. He told you he would allow his kids to go just so that he can get other people to offer up their children because he knows his children are not ready or available. But I'm going to say that because then you'll want to join in because Scott Bessent and Trump just said that, you know, his son would go. This rich man would send his son to the military at 11 or 15 because we don't know which one wants to go, he thinks. It could have been the 11-year-old. They said 10-year-olds. They said teenagers, so it has to be the 15-year-old because 11's not teen, but yeah. These people are so dishonest. He literally tried to make it seem like he would offer up his kid for this war. In order for his kid to be able to be in this war, his kid has to be 18. This war has to go on for 3 years in order for that to happen. I wonder if that reporter, because I didn't watch all of it, I wonder if the reporter said, is your son 18? He should have been. That should have been the next question he asked. Because then he would have got him. No, he's 15. Well, then what the fuck are you talking about? I promised y'all. I would show you something that's going to be funny and fucked up, to be honest. But it's only funny because you just wouldn't think, one piece of this, you just wouldn't think somebody, one human, would be this stupid. But here's the part that I want you to understand, because I got a reel of just dumb shit, but of shit going down. We're going to cover it. This is going to be the last thing we cover. We're going to cover it, right? And we're going to talk about, it's going to be a Pete Hegseth compilation. And for today, shit he said today. And you're going to trip on some of it. We're going to stop down on some of it just to talk about it. But there's one part in there that just screams that I could not qualify for special ed. There's another class that he had to get into. He couldn't qualify for special ed. They had to put him like in a room teaching him with animals and shit. And then you got to roll over. Yup. See the dog? You see the dog doing it just like that. Roll over. Get your ass over. He's going backwards doing flips. Roll over. That's how he had to learn. There's no way in hell that man was in special ed. They are too smart for him. He had to be learning with puppies. And they smart. And this fool was like, roll over. He couldn't do it. Just listen. Think I'm lying. Listen to what he says. This one thing he says is like bona fide dipshit. Let's go.
Some in this crew, in the press, just can't stop. Allow me to make a few suggestions. People look up at the TV and they see banners, they see headlines. For example, a banner or a headline, Mideast war intensifies. What should the banner read instead? How about Iran increasingly desperate?
This man just told the news how to write a headline that benefits him, even when he's a buffoon. So when you're a buffoon, we're supposed to tell the lies. And when you do something right, then what we do? He's trying to teach them how to do propaganda. You guys don't know how to do propaganda right. Take a hint from Fox, where I used to come from. Every time Trump said something, I glorified it. That's what we're supposed to do. That's patriotic. Even if it's a lie, yeah, of course, especially if it's a lie. We got to make our president look good, at least to the rest of the world, even though it's lying to Americans. You'll get over it.
Or more fake news from CNN. Reports that the Trump administration underestimated the Iran war's impact on the Strait of Hormuz. Patently ridiculous.
Nope.
CNN doesn't think we thought of that.
You didn't.
It's a fundamentally unserious report. The sooner David Ellison takes over that network, the better.
He wants David Ellison to take over the network so that they can become a propaganda wing. If you didn't just tell everybody to stop watching CNN right now, I don't know what the fuck you just said. Soon as David Ellison take over CNN, ain't nobody really watching it now. But that shit should go to the wind if he gets in, because he just told you that CNN was going to tell lies 100%, and they're happy with it. Now, I heard through another report that David Ellison's father, Lance, he's like that hardliner, right winger type shit. But I heard his son is not. His son is just a regular ass scoundrel. So he's just trying to do whatever he got to do and tell people whatever they got to say to get what he wants. But he's more of a liberal type person. That's what I heard. But, you know, again, he's a billionaire's son. So he says what he needs to say to get what the fuck he wants. And then he'll just rule it the way ever he wants to rule it. One day he might feel liberal. Next day he might feel like, oh, they're writing bad stuff about me. So I'm going to fire a bunch of people. Tyrants. Just tyrants. But yeah, he just clued people in that this new group that's coming in, the Ellisons, they're going to Foxify CNN.
How many American casualties have there been, and where were the American service members when they were injured?
Stop, drop, shut it down, shop. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to stop on that because that's an easy fucking question to answer if you're in the military and you have the information, which you should have, seeing as how they are the people you are supposed to be protecting and loving and caring about. Our military soldiers and everybody's great, wonderful. We're just the best military in the world. But you don't know how many of the people that you love and care about are hurt, dead, maimed. You don't know. You're baffled. You're like, that's a hard one. You're the leader of the military, and it's a hard one to know. How you think the military people who are over there feel when you can't even say that the homie that they don't fought next to, that they love like a brother, is sitting in the hospital with one fucking leg and you don't know? How you think they feel? They got to be out here fighting for America's dumbass war alongside Israel's war when America running side shot. They're out here not knowing why they're killing people or trying to kill people or not getting killed. And when they get hurt, you're acting like, I don't know. How does that say you care about your military? It sounds like you care about what they can do. And if they can't accomplish it, fuck them. That's what it sounds like. Watch. This fool won't know jack shit what's going on with the American people. It's soldiers. The people he has been sworn to protect, sworn to be the leader of, sworn to be their leader. Looks like a fucking deer in headlights.
I mean, it's a bunch of return to duty. So we've had the large majority have gone in for some medical treatment and return to duty.
Do you understand that the two leaders for the military believe that if the enemy knows that we got hurt, it's a sign of weakness? They care more about what Iraq thinks than they care about the soldiers' lives. This goes along the lines of, I think it was General Mattis or one of the generals that said Donald Trump said that they are suckers and losers. And if these people lost and got hurt, they don't matter. They only matter if they got back out on the field. You notice how he said some of them have gone back to the field. Well, what's wrong with the other ones? Are they okay? They have zero fucks to give about the hurt ones. And the ones that are hurt, how badly hurt are they? This is a place in the media where you speak to the people and you tell the people how our people are doing. But they're hiding to the American citizens how their husbands, wives, and daughters and family members are doing. I've never seen something like this, yo. You keep all the information away from the American people, yet it's our money, and we have a decision via our Congress, the House and the Senate, who we elect, that's supposed to be helping protect American citizens, and you guys are just running roughshod, doing whatever the fuck you want, and not telling the leaders and the American citizens what the fuck is going on. And why can't we hear about our fallen soldiers or our soldiers who are hurt and harmed. They're more important than your dumb ass. It's I just don't understand this. I don't know. I just don't understand it. This is nuts.
For example, a banner or a headline, Mideast war intensifies.
We've seen it.
What should the banner read instead?
You said it.
How about Iran increasingly desperate? The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is...
Took a sip too quick. This right here is the dumbest thing he said, I believe, today. I mean, this right here, what you're about to hear, if you ain't heard it already, makes you wonder. This man, look at him. He's reading from a piece of paper. His whole speech that he gave thus far has been written down, which means he rehearsed this shit in front of a camera or a mirror or something. And while reading it, he didn't have the wherewithal to say, I shouldn't read it like that because that don't make no sense. Who wrote this? I wrote it. Damn. Let me rewrite it. Can somebody help me rewrite this sentence? Nope. This fool thought when he re-uttered these words, he was saying something profound. And it was the dumbest fucking thing you could ever think of. And even after he said it, he didn't have a wince like, that didn't make no sense. Okay, next question. None of that. He stayed straight faced like, I said something there.
The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. We will keep pressing. We will keep pushing, keep advancing.
Before we get to this man literally said that the Strait of Hormuz is open. But if not for Iran blowing up ships, it's still open. Well, no shit. It ain't open. It's closed. Because that's the reason why it's closed. They shooting people, bitch. What the fuck? Who gave birth to this dipshit? I mean, damn. Somebody need to slap your mama in the mouth. She should have said no to the penis that went inside of her. Said, stop. Not you. Not you. Get gone. Get away from me. Should have crossed her legs, put on a chastity belt with a lock and a bomb on it or something, just so that dad could not plant his seed. This dude is stupid. He literally thought he said something. Yeah, it's open. If not for the bombs that are shooting, throwing down trucks, it's still open. Now, this last part is illegal as fuck, he's saying. Do you know what he's about to say? Just because it came out his mouth as a leader of the military, what he says is so illegal by military standards that it puts you in prison for life to say it. Not do it, to say it. Because what you're saying is what you're going to do, and it's illegal in the military. At war, it's illegal to say it, to utter the words out of a military leader's mouth. You should go to jail for. Go look it up when you hear what he's got to say, these last few words.
Shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. We will keep pressing. We will keep pushing, keep advancing. No quarter, no mercy for our enemies. Some in this crew, in the prep.
No quarter, no mercy for our enemies. To say no quarter is highly illegal. No quarter is basically saying that even if the military threw up a white flag, we still gonna kill all y'all. This right here, if that happens, war must stop. This man said he's gonna kill them no matter what. And in the military rules of engagement, legal, these people go to jail for life for this shit. You can't say no quarter. He said it. On camera. In front of the world. Iran saw it. What you gonna do about it, military? What you gonna do about it? It's illegal. Democrats, what can we do about it? I don't know. But what can we do about it? It literally says in the book, the handbook for military, they cannot say no quarter. Illegal, punishable by prison, life in prison. I don't see it. I don't get it. But hey, that's white privilege for you. That's white privilege for you. But I told you'd be laughing at this dude. He is the dumbest human being. I don't know if he's the dumbest human being on earth, but one of the dumbest. He fighting for like dipshit of the century. I mean, come on. Dude said, oh, the Strait of Hormuz, it's open. You can drive through it, fly. Yeah. It's just the bombs that are stopping it, but other than that, it's open. I just don't understand people. And, you know, and they look at it like, oh, it's you know, we're winning. We're what do they say about the libs? We're owning the libs. And like, dude, you don't realize when you fucking yourself. You think owning the libs. Are you that weak that you can't own the libs by your own self, your own brain? That you can't own people who are smarter than you? You just sit down and think. Feel me? Sit down and think about it. At one time, Eminem felt like he couldn't get over on people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go watch 8 Mile. People were talking shit and he tried his best. He had to learn how to tear himself down and shock the fuck out of other people. He would make shit jokes about himself, not taking himself too seriously, and left the other rapper no ammunition because he used it all on himself and then went after you. Learn. You guys have got to learn. You don't need a leader to own the libs and fuck up our country. How about you just get smarter? And therefore you can own the libs with knowledge, with education. Then you can find the libs that think they know what they're talking about, but actually haven't done the research, and then you can be smarter than them. How about that? Or y'all both could be equally smart, and iron sharpens iron. How about that? But no, you want a leader to be a dipshit, to say the things that you can't say. And therefore we have a leader that's fucking up the country because you're a wimp that can't own up to the fact that you haven't pulled yourself up by your bootstraps intellectually. You want a handout with brains. Donald Trump is giving y'all like this welfare for brains. You really think you winning just because the dipshit is. And look where we're at. In a war that the dipshit can't get out because he still eats boogers and glue and probably every once in a while a crayon. All right. You guys, y'all have a great night. I'm going to see you guys on Monday. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. Much love. I'll talk to you later. And I'll see you when I see you.